talk some hockey? Get your opinions ready, because we're going to invite you to join us on stream. So brush that hair, get set, and welcome your host, Sam Welby. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Wednesday evening here. It's Wednesday night wraparound as we're going to talk all things hockey. We're going to get into the thick of it. We're going to break you the latest, the greatest, the happy, the sad. We're going to run the gamut tonight, but we're going to be talking about hockey, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun doing it. And of course, as usual, we will be dropping a link for you, the viewer, to come in and join us. So if you're watching this on replay, make sure you tune in next Wednesday so you have your chance to come in live and talk with us. So let's go around the horn and say hello. Beverly, what's up? Welcome in. Smokey Dan, good to see you. NMC, what's up? Welcome in. Uma Power Girl, what's up? Jade, welcome in. Morgan, hello there. And if you are Ninja watching, welcome. Thank you for joining us here tonight on this glorious Wednesday evening. We are officially in the middle of August. It's August 16th, and wow, that's how you kick off a stream. NMC coming in, celebrating happy anniversary with the $20 super chat. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Thank you, NMC. Much, much appreciated, and thank you for that. We are starting our 2-year celebration today and Friday. We're going to be having lots of fun. I can't believe it's been 2 years already. We're going to talk about that. Triton, what's going on? Circus, what's up? Triton, I'll give you that freeze, but the graphics aren't going to show up here. Hitting with that freeze. And again, thank you so much, Circus. It's hard to believe we are now 2 years in. It was 2 years ago, almost to the day, a little bit earlier, when we went live from our backyard to celebrate 100 subscribers. And here we are today pushing 8,300. It's absolutely incredible. What an unbelievable journey it has been over these past 2 years. And we look forward to the next two and the next two and the next two. And it is going to be great. And while we're kicking it off today, having some fun celebrating, that's right, we're celebrating the terrible twos. We do have to start today's stream, and we do have to cover a couple sadder stories that have been in the NHL. And this kind of was number one on our vote. We asked, what are the stories, the headlines that you guys were most interested in talking to? And number one overall was the losses the Toronto Maple Leafs have suffered over this past week. And it's very unfortunate, and I hate to start the stream this way, so we're going to take off the hat. Don't mind the bad hair day. We're going to start with a quick moment of silence, and I'll let you know why in just a second. All right, so a quick pause. Here are the stories. First, Toronto Maple Leafs prospect Rodon Armorov. He has passed away after being diagnosed with a brain tumor. He was only 21 years of age. The Maple Leafs confirmed the left winger died this past Monday in Germany. He had been receiving treatment, and it's very, very unfortunate that this had to happen. A very young and talented prospect in the Toronto Maple Leafs organization, battling a brain tumor for a little while, and unfortunately passed away this past Monday. So let's get some hearts. We'll put some hearts up for the young Armorov. Leaf players have been all over social media, as well as other players across the NHL, kind of putting little tributes up. Now, Armorov was invited. He did stand on the Leafs bench, I think, during the intros and and what last year. So he had a small glimpse, a small taste of what it was like on the big circuit with the NHL. But just an unfortunate situation there for Toronto. Now, it doesn't end there. Toronto also losing one of his greats. Bobby Baun has passed away at the age of 86. Now, for those of you who are not Maple Leaf fans, Bobby Baun is always remembered for scoring an overtime goal on a broken leg. That's right. He had a broken leg. He broke it. He went, he got some treatment, got frozen up, came back on, and in 1964 won the Stanley Cup by scoring the overtime goal with a broken leg. So he will always be remembered for that moment. So Bobby Baun, another one, another Leaf legend, has passed away at the age of 86. So we hate to start the show on a downside like that, but it is important to get it out there. It is important to discuss it. So those are two major stories that have taken place this past week. Now we can get back into the actual hockey talk. We can lighten it up a little bit because that's a heavy way to start, and especially on an anniversary episode. But again, important to say, let's talk some news because there is a lot of hockey news going on, and we're actually going to start not in the NHL. We're going to go to the QMJHL, and you're sitting there going, Sam, what is the QMJHL? It is the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. So in the province of Quebec, they have done something no other league has done at this time. They have officially banned fighting. Fighting in the Q is now banned. Any fight will now result in an automatic ejection with supplemental discipline to follow. So the QMJHL has officially banned fighting. And it's going to be interesting to see if some of the other leagues, the OHL, the AHL, the WHL, what other leagues around are going to take this approach as well and ban fighting. And is this something that the NHL is going to eventually at some point implement? So I'd love when we drop a link, I'd love to get your opinions on this story about fighting in hockey. It's pretty major. Some of the other big news going around, and of course we spent some time talking in Boston not too long ago, but not only did Patrice Bergeron retire, this past week it was announced David Krejci is retiring and stepping away. So the last of the threesome between Krejci, Bergeron, and Chara now all officially retired. Charlie, thank you so much and welcome in. Appreciate it. Dallas, say, can't quite chat about Matthews. Dallas, we'll get there. Big Austin Matthews news. Okay, Dallas, you get that? Yes, we will talk about Austin Matthews. But David Krejci, the latest Boston Bruin to call it quits, he has officially retired. Now, Krejci, what an NHL career. Over 1,000 games played. He had only about 231 goals, 555 assists for just shy of 800 points, finishes at 786. Krejci was a huge instrumental part of the Boston Bruins organization. As well, he did play with the Czech Republics in the under-20s, the under-18s. So he definitely has made his way, played for in the Olympics, the World Championships. So Krejci, a big part of the Czech Republic hockey team and the Boston Brew team. So another Bruin has officially called it quits. And it's interesting because Boston was on the highest of the highs last year, right? Setting record in wins, setting records in points. And now they've lost two guys, even though, yes, they did sign one-year deals. They have both officially retired. So interesting news there out of Boston. It's going to be neat to see what they do. On the trade front, talking about Jeff Petrie. Now, Jeff Petrie was somebody the Montreal Canadiens had just picked up in the three-way trade that sent Carlson to Pittsburgh. Petrie finds his way to Montreal, and Montreal now flips Petrie over to the Detroit Red Wings. So Petrie goes to the Red Wings. In exchange, Gustav Lidstrom and a conditional 25 fourth-round pick find their way to Montreal. And I love this trade for Montreal. Nothing against Jeff Petrie, but I really like Gustav Lidstrom. I think he's going to be a fine defenseman. So a nice little pickup here for Montreal as they continue to rebuild. And thank you, Dallas. The Blue Jays winning 4-2. It's about time they start putting some runs on the board. Baseball fans, we will have live Blue Jays coverage this Friday as the Blue Jays are taking on the Cincinnati Reds. The game is going to be on Apple TV Plus again. So if you don't get Apple TV Plus, tune into the channel. We'll have live play-by-play for you. So a nice little trade there for the Detroit Red Wings, picking up Petrie and sending Lidstrom over to the Montreal Canadiens. Now, on the signing front, only one signing that is really noteworthy here to mention of P. Suter. P. Suter signs in Vancouver for 2 years at $1.6 million. So here is a young star, had a chance to make something of himself, hadn't able to get it done yet. He's now 27 years of age, going to get himself a chance in Vancouver to see what he can make happen over there. Talking about a young gun, one of the interesting moves, Alexis Lafreniere, drafted number 1 overall by the New York Rangers. This kid was supposed to be the stuff dreams are made of. He hasn't really panned out, but he has come out and say that the Rangers and Lafreniere are working on a deal to keep him in New York. It should be settled in the next few weeks. He loves playing there, wants to continue playing there, and looking forward to re-signing. So Lafreniere plans right now to stay in New York, and the deal is being worked on, and that should be done shortly. On the rumor mill, we've seen so much with Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pens, they brought in Erik Karlsson. Big rumors about Jagr potentially signing a 1-year deal in Pittsburgh. Will he retire there? But they're not done. They're also looking at Thomas Tatar. They're trying to get a contract and a deal done with Tatar, who had 48 points last season. So I think that would be awesome to see Thomas Tatar if he does go to Pittsburgh. Wow, what a turnaround the Penguins have done. They are really, really rebuilding there for the future. Hey, Joshua, one long lost player who seems to be on the wagon, circling the league, wrapping around more than we are, is Sam Gagner. If you remember Sam Gagner, he was with the Oilers a long time ago. He did a stint in Toronto with the Marlies. He's really bounced around. Well, those Edmonton Oilers have granted him another PTO, which is a professional tryout. So a PTO, Sam Gagner with the Oilers, looking for a possible longer-term contract. What could he do there? Hey, when does the Leafs sign you as a new head goalie? Oh gosh, that you would not want to see me as a goalie. I would not be okay in that position. One of the big news dropped out, and we released a short on this just a couple of days ago. If you're a gamer, if you're an NHL gamer, EA Sports, you're in the game, has officially announced its cover athlete for NHL 24. Daniel, how's it going? And it is from the Colorado Avalanche, Cal McCarr. So McCarr, the young stud defenseman, has been selected the cover athlete for NHL 24. I love this selection. McCarr is so good, and he's a big reason why the Avs were doing as well as they did, even though with Georgiev, poor goaltender, the Avs just a beast. And Cal McCarr is so good. The things he does on his edges, the things he does with his stick is just incredible to watch. So Cal McCarr, your NHL 24 cover athlete. So congrats, Kale. It's all about the Kale. In other news, let's see. Carolina Hurricanes have extended their lease in North Carolina, and they're planning major renovations. So they signed a 20-year extension. So if you're from Carolina or a fan of Carolina, they're going to be sticking around for at least 20 years. That's a major extension they've signed, and some renos set to come up in the arena, which is always good to see. And last but not least, Paul Byron. If you remember Paul Byron, the Montreal Canadiens GM says that Byron is expected to retire prior to this upcoming season. So he had a total of 521 games played, 208 points, and it is expecting that he will retire. So another player is going to be going down the retiring squad. There have been a few, and of course, Jonathan Taves is the one we're really looking at, because we saw that big rumor about him potentially retiring. Now for Dallas, let's go back to Toronto news out of Toronto in regards to Austin Matthews and William Nylander, the big duo where we're waiting to see what's going to fall, what's going to happen, where are they going to sign. Well, Dallas, we have a major breaking news update for you. There are no updates. There are no updates. It has actually been very, very quiet. We've heard the deal with Matthews effectively is done. It's verbally been agreed to. They're just waiting to put pen to paper and announce it. I still hate you, Sam. Oh, Dallas. We haven't, we can never consider it done until the deal is actually signed and it's official. But what we're hearing is the deal is done. It's verbally agreed to. It just needs to come out. The bigger conversation is surrounding William Nylander. And the big thing with Nylander, and what we don't know is, he's demanded 10 million. Well, not demanded, but he said he wants to get about 10 million. Looking for about 10 million. Leafs want to pay him about 8.5 in and around that range. That's where a lot of the comparables fall into. The problem Toronto has right now with Big Willie Styles is how can you even trade him at this point? Because any team that is going to acquire him knows, listen, he's a great deal at this year at, what is he, 6.8 or something like that? He's a great deal for this year. But would you really give up a lot for a one-year player knowing he's going to cost you $10 million? I don't think there's any team in the league right now that says, yeah, I see Nylander as a $10 million player. No chance. So even if the Leafs were to find a sweet deal to move him, they're not going to get the equivalent what some of these other teams have gotten for their, like a Pierre-Luc Dubois, seeing some of those trades. A Matt Tkachuk, he's not going to draw those type of trades because right now he's a one-year essentially rental player. So that's the problem Toronto is going to face. Unless he wants to come down, it's not going to happen. Yes, Morgan, thank you for that. Easton Cowan, the Toronto draft pick, the player the Leafs had drafted that the city was like, you drafted who? They weren't sure about this guy. They did officially ink him. They signed him to an entry-level deal. So that's great for the Leafs. Get an entry-level deal there with Easton Cowan. Can't wait to see what he's going to be like in these prospect tournaments, these rookie tournaments, if he's going to be part of the roster that goes to Traverse City. So we'll see how that is going to pan out. Switching gears a little bit, Dallas wants to know about the bot, the McBot, the Connor McDavid. Well, I can tell you, Connor McDavid is something else. He's been training hard. He's really been training hard, looking to have another great season. He's got 3 years on his contract this year, next year, 24-25, and then 25-26. So he's going to be in Edmonton for a couple more years then. Will we see him in Toronto? You never know. Wouldn't that be something? But there was some excellent footage of McDavid stick handling, doing some stick work, some edge work, him and Connor Bedard, and both Connors look absolutely ridiculous. They both look terrific. I'm excited to see what they're going to do this season. I'm excited to see what Bedard is going to do. Bedard, everything he touches, everywhere he goes, where he trains, where he practices, every video that comes out, it's like this kid is for real. Right now, the question is how many points is Bedard going to put up this year? All right, so that's all the news stories. That's all the coverage. If your name is Connor, you have to play hockey. No kidding. It is absolutely ridiculous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the link up here, and I'm going to invite you now to come and join us on stream if you'd like. If you want to come in and talk some hockey, you're welcome to come talk some hockey. If you want to come in and just talk about any moment from our streams over the past 2 years, because we are beginning our celebration, our 2-year celebration. So if you want to come in and just talk about your favorite moments on the channel or your favorite moments from the past on the channel, we could do that as well. So we're going to really open this up to you to join us on stream. Now, again, the only conditions of coming on is A, we ask that you're over the age of 18, and B, you keep the language in check. So make sure we keep it family friendly, PG-13, whatever you want to call it. Just watch the language is all we ask. All right, so let's get that link in here. We're going to drop it like it's hot. There we go. We're going to pin it. Oh my gosh, I got this heart in the way. I can't even pin my message. What is going on? Why do they put these little heart things right over the spot? I can't even pin my own message. So I will have to wait to pin it. But if you want to join me, there's the link. You are more than welcome to come on in, enter the stream, and we will talk about, like I said, your favorite players, your favorite hockey stories, your favorite Samuel B12 memories. I will tell you, for me, well, I don't want to say it. I will save my memories. I'll give you a chance. Put a period in the chat. There, that's Dallas. Smart thinking. I should have done that. Instead, I was sitting here clicking on the heart, waiting for it to go and move up. All right, let's welcome in our first guest of the evening. Please welcome back to the show, Jade. How's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you too. Everything's good. I've had a rough couple of days.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I really wouldn't recommend anybody calling anybody this. This is just to kind of teach anybody a lesson. We were on a stream, well, not a stream, but a call in Discord, and my friend called me sociopath. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to go so well. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was kind of sad, but when you kind of let me come on this channel, because I'm old enough to come on your show, I always follow the rules. I don't lie about age because you can get in trouble with that. Yeah. You always have like open arms and kind hearts, and I like that about any channel, because when it really does, and it just this is just to kind of make my week a little bit better. So
thank you for the kind words. And yeah, it's a big part of what we do, and one of the things I love about this community and so many people that are in this chat here tonight is their willingness to welcome everybody in with open arms, to be respectful of one another. And with sports, it's very easy to fall down the rabbit hole of trash talking and really getting on somebody else's team. But I think we do it in a fun and friendly way, which is what I absolutely love about our group. And quite frankly, I think is one of the great things about this channel and this community that we've built. So that's, what, here on our 2-year chaniversary, we can celebrate the warmth of this community. So it's not just our channel or my channel, it's all of us here today, and you're all a part of it. Except for you Triton. He's just downright rude. I'm just kidding. So big week again in hockey as we're getting closer and closer to the season, with David Krejci from the Boston Bruins he announced his retirement. Another one kind of dropping in Boston. Do you have any thoughts about Krejci, or is he just kind of one of these guys that you're like, yeah, you know what, his time has come, it's time for him to go, Boston needs to figure something out?
It's like all players from any sport, any league, your time is going to come. So yeah, I think, you're definitely going to have to go down the slide sooner or later when it comes to retirement. Like, Richard Sherman went down a very poor rabbit hole, because I remember just turning on my TV and it's all over the news. Richard Sherman arrested, and this is when Ring was starting to get hype. Not the thing you wear on your finger, but the doorbell thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I'm just like, I'm not going to say what he said, because he did use some language.
Yep. Hey, Gordon.
Yep. So as an aunt, I'm not really going to be a bad role model for my niece or my nephews.
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
So.
And It's tough. And that's a good point you make about the Ring doorbell and social media. And everybody has a phone today, a camera today. And I heard there was a podcast, a video podcast I was watching some clips on earlier today, and they were talking to some old-time hockey players, and they were talking about how there was always the one guy in the locker room that was the beer guy,
Oh,
always had the drinks in his locker, and all the stuff that went on back then. That doesn't happen I'm sure it happens a little bit today, but when players go out, when players do things, everyone's like, oh my God, that's so and so. And they got the video up, the cameras up. So players today really, have to be careful of what they do and where they go and what they say, because everybody watches it.
and
And
not to mention what you post on the internet too, because you know nowadays it's like you have school shootings. You got to be careful for what you say, because next up the FBI, the police, they're going to be at your door. So be careful for what you say on the internet.
yeah, oh, you got to be so careful. And I remember, hey, Lucas, what's going on? Lucas celebrating 8 months as a channel member. Thank you, Lucas. And yeah, Gordon, Leafs definitely have to do more. For sure, they have to do more. We talk about social media. One of the things, it was, who was it now? I'm thinking, Ryan O'Reilly. So came to Toronto, stayed for a year. Everybody thought he was going to sign. And Ryan O'Reilly left. And he said a couple of reasons why he left. Was part of it was the camaraderie. The team, when they were on an away game, at a playoff game, there were no team dinners. They weren't hanging out to each other. Everybody was just staying to themselves in their rooms. And part of me wonders, is that because anywhere, like if Matthews or Marner or Nylander or these guys are going out to a restaurant, even if they're with their team, they're being hounded. If they're not in a back room somewhere, they always have to watch where they're going. Everybody's trying to get autographs. So maybe their answer to it is, well, let's just not go anywhere. We'll sit in our hotels.
Yeah, you're getting protected. It's like kind of like actors and actresses. They sometimes, when they got to deal with that, people coming up wanting to go up to them and say, can I have an autograph? Can I get a picture? Can I get a selfie?
It's crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine, especially when you're in the playoffs and everybody is all over you trying to get an autograph, trying to get a picture, and you're like, I just want to go have my salad and my chicken, and then let me go hang out in my room.
Oh my
It's
God. I
it's
totally
it's
feel.
so tough as these players, and I do it too, right? I go to a game, and if I see somebody who could be someone, I'm like, oh, I'd love to go say hi. I'd love to get a picture. I'd love to get an autograph. In Toronto, Justin Bieber is a big time Maple Leaf fan, and he's always at the games.
Oh my God, I can't stand his music. I
I,
can't. I, as a little girl, when I grew up, I was not around pop music. I was tomboy, so I was sports. I wasn't into trendy clothing, so you'd see me walking in with like, I don't know, a t-shirt. Like, I don't wear Nike anymore, so go thank Colin Kaepernick for that. So you might see me wear Adidas, or I have the Mariners game on mute, so.
yeah, it's NMC says no Bieber fever. He's always at Toronto at games, and sometimes he'll be in a suite, so he's protected. Sometimes he's actually sitting out with the fans, and we've seen clips where sometimes he's very friendly, right? He's very accommodating, and other times you can kind of just read it on his face, right? He's kind of like,
He's
just leave
got
me
that.
alone already.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, well, celebrity life is not easy, I've heard. So, I mean, for me, I don't consider myself one, but I think I've been recognized a couple of times. Like, I don't consider myself one, but I do string sessions on my channel with the violin, and I'm like, okay, because my friend Adam, he doesn't do YouTube anymore. I'm not going to say, because that's his business. So,
Yeah.
and
So you play the violin?
mm-hmm.
How long have you been playing for?
I'm gonna say probably since 2018. I mean, or I could be wrong. I'm not. I have a very bad memory, but um, I also happened to do it in elementary school, but I just found it hard and told my mother, "Hey, I can't do this anymore." But I lacked confidence back then.
Right. And yes, Dallas, you're absolutely correct. You'd think the hotels could provide a private dinner or something so they could eat together. Um, but you think we've heard stories about how like opposing teams they won't turn the lights on in the arena so the team has to practice in the dark, or they keep the heat off in the hotel. There are all kinds of these stories. So the hotels might not be so accommodating when
Oh my
when
god,
it
I've
comes to
stayed in
the
a
playoff
hotel
time.
before, and I'm gonna say during the summer it's very cruel. Like right over here, it's 95 degrees. And we had a heat warning yesterday, so they're like, you gotta have the AC on, you gotta have a lot of fluids in your system. So this is what happens when temperatures are breaking into the 90s. I'm just saying, wherever you live, it doesn't matter if you could be in the US or not, but please do take this seriously because I have gone through bad dehydration and I had to have like a lot of, therapy for it.
Yeah, it's tough, and especially in Lucas. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope you feel better soon. That sounds like it hurts. When these players are playing, double overtime or triple overtime, you hear stories about how much fluids they're losing and how much they need to eat bananas during intermissions or rehydrate. And it's there were stories about they used to give like IV fluid to players because they were so dehydrated. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
If anybody watching, if you want to get in the conversation, if you want to join us here live on stream, whether to talk some hockey or talk about your favorite memories from the show over the past 2 years, the link is pinned above you in the chat. Just click that link and it will bring you in. Just make sure as you do come in that you set your YouTube stream on mute so you don't get some feedback and some echo.
Yeah, I mean, in middle school, I think I played softball either seventh or eighth grade. I don't know, because sixth grade you weren't allowed to do a sport. You were only allowed to do a club, or if you were a girl and you liked to dance. But I was no dancer, and I still am not. I'm not a dancer.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. I kind of had to say, seventh grade I played softball, but I guess it was really really hot. It was like the last game, and I guess I was at bat, and I was holding my stomach, and then I went like that to my mouth and I told my other friend, I took my other hand, and said, "Get the coach, because I think I'm gonna nauseate."
Oh no.
And I was like, because my mom was there because it was a home game, and I'm like, if I don't get out, because the game was almost over. It was like the middle of the ninth, so.
Sports is tough like that, right? Because
Yeah.
sports can be so amazing, something we love so much, and then at the same time, it's so hard on us, and it can take a lot out of you. As Lucas experienced tonight in his game, taking a line drive off the leg. As much as we love these sports that we play, there is that possibility of something always happening and an injury coming. And talking about injuries. One of the a big player that we have to talk about. Ham Morgan says the Blue Jays will have Bo Bichette back with the Jays this weekend. Awesome, Morgan. That's awesome. Well, hopefully he's back on Friday for our game. One of the big injuries.
I'm so sorry. That was something. How about this? I'll give you a shout out on my next video if that makes you feel better.
Oh, awesome.
Make someone's day. Don't use social media for to get back. Your bully's being mean to you, or you don't like somebody. Use it for a positive vibe. Don't use it just to ruin someone's life, because my therapist said it could ruin someone's life. You can ruin someone's life. I didn't even know this, but it can cost them their job too.
Oh yeah, for sure. You never know when you put something out online. You never know what could happen. We have another guest who is going to come in and join us. Jade, I'm going to say thank you again for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate it as always. And
well, thank you for making my week and my day after what happened on Sunday.
Wait, thank you. Sorry you had to go through that, but we'll catch up real soon.
Yeah, well, if you're doing a video next Wednesday, I'll come back.
Sounds good. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's bring in our next guest. Oh, actually, we got two. It's a double feature, and you haven't seen these two for a little while. This could go off the rails. So buckle up. This is how you celebrate a 2-year anniversary stream. Oh my gosh. Are we really going to do this? They've each had their own segment during our hockey seasons. You might remember him from such episodes as Trash Talking with Triton. You might remember her from such episodes as Dishing It Out with Dallas. Please welcome, and you can decide who is who, Beavis and Butthead. Hey, you Triton Dallas hockey girl. What's going on? Oh,
I think you're muted, buddy.
Oh, it's better that way, isn't it?
Yes, just say muted. Just say muted. And I am not Butthead. I am not. I will forever. I guess I forever have to be Beavis.
Oh, that's funny. Well, welcome in. Thanks. Let me move that around.
He's still figuring out how to work a computer.
That's okay. Triton, the little microphone with the line through it. He's like, I know what I'm doing, Sam. Go away.
I got it.
There you go. See, what happens is when you move to Florida, things start to go quickly, and the first is computer skills.
And no, I'm just excited for next Tuesday.
I'm just overwhelmed for next Tuesday.
There you go. Yes. So big news for next Tuesday. The first time ever AAU Triton is going to cheer for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
No,
that's not it.
No.
Okay. For the first time ever.
You just won the Super Bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going to Disney.
He's going to Disney the first time. It's going to be so awesome. Triton's going to go have some fun. He's going to go mix it up. Hopefully, it will not be his first and last time at the park, as he gets a permanent ban for riding It's a Small World too many times in a single day, throwing people out of the boat. You know,
I thought you were talking about the waffling that's going to happen.
The waffling, it's gonna be shenanigans. Curtis Joseph in the house. What's going on? Put Dallas and Triton in a cage match. My money's on Dallas.
I'd be climbing over the top. Oh my god!
Wait, wouldn't that have to be a ladders match?
No, you still have to be able to, reach me. You still have to climb out of the steel cage.
Oh, that's too funny.
I probably could climb out faster than you, even though I'm old.
There you go.
But so, you know what's my favorite thing of your channel?
I can hardly wait because
this ought to be good.
I mean, you probably have more recordings of things that have happened on this channel than I do. So I can't wait. What is one of your favorite moments? Hey, Cabrera King.
Snow Angels.
Thank you, Lucas.
The Snow Angels. Yes. The Snow Angels. That was a lot of fun.
After dinner.
That was a lot of fun. I remember we went out. It was a snowy day. We intended to go out and look at some Christmas lights in the area, and there weren't too many lights. We decided we walked all the way to Tim Hortons. We walked back, and then before we did it, we had a contest. If we hit so many likes, we would do the Snow Angel, and sure enough, we hit it. And so we dropped down and we did the Snow Angel. But there were actually two on the channel. That was one of them. The other one, if you remember, we had a major snowstorm come through, and there was like 3 feet of snow on the driveway, and we fell back into the big.
I mean, that one was okay too, but the one where you did it on the sidewalk where you barely got down to the ground and Dee was panicking that you weren't going to be able to get back up.
That was funny. That was certainly a good time. I forgot about that. I didn't think about that.
Well, there is a Snow Angel after we had dinner and we were on stream with the Bear Shark.
Wait, after you guys had dinner together? We don't talk about that, you scatterbush people.
So that was a fun moment. We've actually done a lot of silly things like that. The snow angels were good. Of course, the pie in the face was good. It's so cold. It's so cold.
So cold.
I still have that clip.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Of course,
all
the singing and shenanigans that we did.
You still have not done back in the USSR.
No, that's true. You still owe us to sing back in the USSR.
Yeah, well, when I get back to the USSR, I'll sing it. Fries with ketchup and gravy, yes. The mac and cheese.
Lemon juice.
No, get that right. Butter. A drop of lemon juice.
So there was a drop, but in fairness, I went to the fridge. We had half a lemon that was there. I took it and I squeezed with all my might, and I got whatever I could out of that lemon.
Dry lemon.
Okay, so that could go one of two ways. Either you fake squeezing it, or you're a total weakling.
No, there. See, Dee was using it for her salad, so she really used up most of the lemon juice. I just got a little bit.
You notice Dee's not around, so who's he blaming?
No, she's right here. She said it. She just yelled it from the background.
I heard Dee. What up, Dee?
So those were really, really fun moments. One of my favorites, one of my personal favorites of all time, was actually this past Stanley Cup final, and it's in our promo ad. And that's when the Leafs won. And I grabbed that rally towel and I whipped it around, and the second pass whipped me so hard, square in the eye. And when you watch it back, I'm like, go Leafs, whatever. And all you hear is thud as it wallops me in the eye. It's like, ow, my eye. But
Sam, what about when Dee says you're not allowed to use powered kitchen utensils?
Yeah, that was fun too. But no, that one, the whipping in the eye.
Sam's eye did frozen peas.
Oh man,
you had some bad language that night.
I did. That's true. You know what? That's true. I'm pretty good when calling these games, but those ones it kind of came out. This playoff run, I think it was the first time on the channel that there was some AA language instead of the PG-13 language. So that was a lot of fun. And of course, one of the things we introduced this past year was a big thanks to Dallas.
You found the volume button. Excellent.
There we go. We got the goal horn going, which is
I didn't even know that made noise. I've never heard the noise before.
Hey.
Oh yeah, the noise is there. I only wish it was smart enough to do the different horns from the different rinks. That would be cool.
No, one horn.
Why don't you reprogram it?
You can't. No, you can't reprogram. Yeah. It's one sound.
I bet you I can reprogram it.
You know how long it took me to actually get it to link up to the Wi-Fi? I'm not even trying to get it reprogrammed.
It's like the original first model, so it's a little fussy to try and hook up to the app. It is.
So Dallas, what is your favorite memory of the channel?
Well, I said to say, Jacob, Noah, make sure you hit the red button when you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Make sure you play the horn so that Dad knows you got up.
There you go. Oh, Micro says the NHL is coming to Australia.
Oh,
that is awesome.
Cool. That's going to be a long flight.
That is going to be a very long flight. That'll be
I've
cool.
I've done that flight. Very long. Very long. My favorite moment was the I forget what Leafs game we were watching, but there was a fire at the Raptors game, and I was putting it in the chat. And Sam didn't believe me. He's like, I said, Sam, the firemen are at the Raptors game. He's like, oh, and why are the firemen at the Raptors game? Sam thinks I'm kidding. I'm like,
yeah, isn't that when the speakers got destroyed?
That's right.
One speaker was on fire. Thank you, Justin Bieber.
That's right. I totally thought it was like halftime show and the firefighters were doing a halftime show or
Sam
promoting
thought I
their
was kidding.
calendars.
I'm like, dude, speaker, fire, evacuating the building. He's like, what? So Justin Bieber, for those who don't know, Justin Bieber had a concert the night before. Props to the floor crew because they took down the concert and switched it to basketball for the next night for the Raptors game. There was fire in one of the speakers. They had to get the fire out, take the speaker down, and they evacuated the fans. And then they actually restarted the game, finished the game without the fans in the stands. But I remember watching. I think I sent you a clip, but it's probably way back in the vault in the archives. There was two guys like rappelling from the to get this speaker down. I am like, who gets that job? I'm like, who wants that job to rappel from the ceiling to get this speaker down? It was, my mind was, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
There it is. 66 scores. Welcome in. Go Leafs go. Yes, go Leafs go. We're counting down the days to the season kicking off. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And right now we're kind of reliving some of our favorite moments of the seasons. You know, one of the things that I love about our hockey shows over the past couple of years really has become this second intermission shenanigans show that we all put on. And you know, you two have been such good sports over the years of doing this, but as we've been going through, we've been coming up with some of our favorite Dallas isms, if you will.
Oh, dear.
And so
still hockey season, by the way.
What's that?
66 days to hockey season.
There you go. Mario Lemieux to hockey season. But one of the things we love is when Dallas is in the chat, there's certain things that we can expect. And I thought it was only fitting, since you're here and we're reminiscing over the past couple of seasons, some of these Dallas isms that we can talk about.
Is my face as red as my hat?
The blue lipstick.
Blue lipstick is one, but one of my favorites is when something happens and I immediately said to see Dallas type, Sam, did you see that? And I start dying inside because I'm like, yes, I saw that. I'm watching the game.
Well, but it was like, did you see that?
It gets me every time. So that's one of my favorite Dallasisms. One of the other ones I love, Dallas is gonna be so mad at me. One of the ones I love so much is when there's a penalty or the referees are coming together, the players are tussling, and Dallas says, Sam, do you think they're exchanging recipes?
She does say that all the time.
It's so
imagine their recipe books.
So in my head, I don't come across and say it, but in my head, I'm like, so if you put 2 cups of baking soda with a cup and a half of water, and I'm going through like, what would that conversation be like between players if they were actually exchanging recipes?
That's what makes it funny.
What's that?
That's what makes it funny.
It's so true.
I just think on the pictures that cracks me up when the Blue Jays or whatever player is on the pictures, and then the pictures are like this with the baseball glove. I'm like, what recipe could they possibly be sharing with the baseball glove?
It's the Olive Garden secret.
When she constantly says her dad's going to break the TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dad's cursing at the TV.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Cursing.
He will be cursing at the TV on Friday with Apple TV coverage. So
there you go. My all-time favorite Dallasism from the past couple of years, and then I'm going to get on to Triton. God. Absolute favorite moment with Dallas, and I think it's only happened twice that I can think of, where somebody comes in the chat, and it's none of you here today because you guys are all awesome. But it's somebody who comes in the chat and they're trolling along and they'll put the same message 5,000 times. So Dallas will go in or one of the mods, it might not be Dallas, one of the mods will go in and, take care of that person. And Dallas will put in the message, very politely, please don't spam the chat. And then Dallas will be trying to let me know the score of the Blue Jay game or something that's happened. And
Sam the
Dallas
chat.
would put it all caps like 25 times. So it's
Because
like, please
you
don't
see
spam the chat.
score. Because
But I
you
can
don't
do
see
it.
the score.
That was one of
Ross
my
can spam the chat.
I think there was one time I was laughing so hard because the game, sometimes the games move really, really fast. And I
They do.
legit don't see the comments, which is why
I
sometimes
know.
you have to repeat
That's
it.
why we do that.
But there was one game, it was going so fast, and I had like a list of things I wanted to talk about. So every time the game had paused, I was like going through my list of things to get out and say. And Dallas kept putting the message in. And I think one time I was like, yes, Dallas, I see the Blue Jays are winning. Thank you. I was I was laughing so hard. So thank you, Dallas, for keeping
But when
me
you don't
entertained.
respond to the chat.
But now to share some of my favorite AAU
And now
Triton
you're
moments.
just like yanking my chain about Matthews. Breaking news.
Breaking news. There's no news. So
Yeah,
that was, some of the fun that Dallas brings to the show. Triton is
Hey,
at a
my turn's over.
whole different level.
It's not any good. Somebody start recording this quick. Circus, quick.
No,
record.
I will say, listen,
Okay.
Triton brings so much fun to the show with constantly the freeze redeems and bringing up the graphics and the cheer redeems. But when it was playoff time, every time things were getting on a roll, things were going good, and I'm like getting all amped up. Here's Triton with the redeem cheer, and it's like, oh my god! And then like every time the Leafs were doing something good, and I was like, yes, here we go. It's like redeem cheer. You can't cheer for them anymore, and it's like, oh my god. So that was one of the Tritonisms is anytime you're comfortable and something's going around, watch out because he's going to drop a freeze or a cheer and he's going to try and get you off your game. But then even more to that is with those cheers is sometimes the program just freezes or it doesn't necessarily work. And there was one particular game, it wasn't working and we were like turning it off, turning it back on, and we couldn't get it going. So I just turned it off. I'm like, let me leave it off for a while, see if it gets going. Road Warrior, what's going on? And yes, the pies to the face, classic moment.
And Jays are now losing 5-4. Thank you, Lucas.
There we go. So I have this thing turned off, and Triton's going, host, I think it was one of the dances back then. It's like, you owe us a robot. I redeemed my points. I'm like, impossible because the thing is off. And it's like, come on, host, you owe me a robot. And I'm like, in the corner of my eye, I'm going through because I get a list. Like whenever a redeem is made, there's a log and I can see, I'm like, I don't see it. I'm like, whatever, fine. I have it turned off. I'll go along with it. And do. Okay, I do my little dance. And then all of a sudden it's like, host, you're not paying attention. You owe me a freeze. I'm like, there's no way. But I'm like, okay, freeze. And then this kept going for like, I don't know, it was like half an hour or something.
Because you realize you're yanking your chain, right?
Oh, then I'm like, come on. So he gets me. He gets me good every single time. You got to stay on your toes with him.
Because he's got so many freaking screens, he can like hack into your system and mess with you.
But the big thing, the Tritonism is, he's wasn't a hockey fan when we started doing this, right? And we converted him. He became a Leafs fan.
We made him part of the religion.
We did. He joined the resistance. And one of the shows, we were going into intermission, and I start running down my stats, and he says, host, can I say something? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, did you know in 1948, the New York Rangers, blah, blah, and I was like, what? And he's like, furthermore, in 1976, the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? And he went on dropping all of this knowledge, all of the stats. And I was like, man, you prepared for this show. Totally one of my favorite Triton moments because if I didn't have a back on my chair, I would have flipped right over. I was floored with the stats that you were pulling up. So
Google.
that was funny.
Google.
And of course, yes, that NMC, that is the other one, the dad dance. We missed the dad dance. We're gonna get back to it when hockey starts up again.
Hey, I got an idea.
Yes, sir.
Why not, for old time's sakes, we do a dad dance right now?
All right. Hey, TJ, what's going on?
Yeah, you're welcome, Dallas.
I can hear that. Does anyone? So let's do this before we do the dad dance. Before we do, let me say this. Triton always paid attention to where we were with the likes, and he was all over that. And so as soon as we hit the like, he's like, "Host, it's dad dance time." I'm like, "Okay, there's a fight going on. I'll do it later." Host, you still owe us a dad dance. Okay, there's like action going on. Host, dad dance. He would not. As much as I tried to duck and dodge and forget about it, he would not let me forget about it.
No.
And he was
not
on it.
Life.
Good not on him. So let's do this. Let's have a fun 2-year anniversary dad dance. If you want to come on screen, we got, how many people can I put on here? I can put a few more people. If you want to come on screen and join us for the dad dance, you don't have to stick around. You don't have to talk if you're shy. Well, why don't you come on in, join us for the dad dance on screen? And if you're like, what's the dad dance? All you got to do is put your fingers in the air. So here comes Hayden. Let's bring Hayden in. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Join us. We're going to get one large dad dance.
Well, my favorite Triton moment was when I came back from my trip and Sam and I plotted against him to surprise him when I came back from my trip. He had no idea.
That is true. TJ, that's a good point. I didn't quite think that one through. Oh, that's wrong. You don't have to talk, but you can dance if you're shy. Here we go. Right. Oh, for the first time, I'm not going to make a big deal of it because this person, I'm not going to make a big deal of it. For the first time to our show, please welcome Not My Circus.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome in, and hello, Hayden, as well. All right. Last call. Does anybody else want to come on? We're going to do a dad dance all together. This is going to be a community dance. So TJ, come on in. Lucas, come on in. Wilma, come on in. Come on in and join us. We're going to get the dad dance going on. And again, it's very simple. It just requires this. All right. So this is how it's going to work. Do you guys hear that?
I think I hear it.
Do you hear that? Is that a little pour some sugar on me?
No, Alex, you're not doing it.
I think that's a little. Is that Dancing Queen? I think that's a little. Don't Stop Believing. It's the dad dance time. It's the 2-year dad dance time. There we go. That's maybe we should do it with 2 fingers for 2 years. It's the dad dance time. There we go. There we go. There you go. The group dad dance time. Congratulations, everybody. Oh gosh. NMC, great to have you come on. Hayden, great to have you come on. Okay. Do you guys have a favorite moment that you'd like to share?
Hayden, what about you? Is it all the overtimes?
Oh, I think he's muted. Oh, Beverly tried to come in but got blocked by her tablet.
Oh no.
Oh, that's okay. Next time. All right. Circus, how about you? Do you have a favorite memory or favorite moment?
Can y'all hear me? Is my mic working?
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know. There's been so many. The interactions, Triton getting you with, the frozen, what do you call that? Is it a meme gift video?
The Let It Go that he so kindly turned into a video.
Just all the moments, y'all had gone to a diner or a restaurant cafe one time. That was fun. The snow angels, just all of it's been a blast.
It's funny. I still get, so that diner we went to, we end up eating there a lot. Let's be realistic. And so every time we go in, there's one waitress we see all the time. What's up, Stacy? Whenever we go in, she's like, what? No podcast today? Not filming for anything today? So it is certainly funny. And, it's when we do things like that, going to the diner or going to Canada's Wonderland or filming, straight from the hockey games itself. There's so many people from the other side of the camera that you guys don't get a chance to see. You're seeing it through the lens of what I'm shooting, but there's like Stacy the waitress or all the people at Wonderland that kind of, especially last time, came running up that wanted to kind of be part of what we were doing and talk to me and see everything. There's everything outside of the camera that you guys don't see. And I'd love to be able to bring more of that. Some of the behind the scenes stuff. And actually there's our Discord server link. If you're not part of our Discord server, click into it and come in and join, because that's where we do talk about a lot of things off stream, or Triton will post some of his videos of me singing Disney songs and fancy dresses.
Oh, you mean like the little dance here is going to be posted in about 20 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
He's editing as we speak. Oh, and TJ likes your big giant chocolate bar, Triton.
That was a good one.
So many amazing moments over the past 2 years. I'm waiting for the big hockey moment to happen. I'm waiting for the big hockey moment where the Leafs win the Stanley Cup and we're all celebrating that on stream together. I might be on the floor somewhere.
Last season, your nasty language of up your pie hole on stream.
That, you know what? It's
we're gonna put that on one of the t-shirts too, by the way.
That's such a good idea. I should. So I actually just ordered the logo that's over here in the top corner, the maple leaf with the hockey sticks. I actually just ordered a t-shirt with that logo on it. So I'm curious to see
Team Canada Samwell B12 logo.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that one's going to come up, but that's good. An up your pie hole shirt. I'll got to work on that. But it was so funny because calling these games, and I've talked about this with Dave, our good friends from the Florida Park Explorers. He used to call Ranger games, and he said, when I call a Ranger game, I'm throwing things, I'm swearing, I'm carrying on. When you call it, it's like an actual broadcast. And I try very hard to keep my emotions in check. Except, when the referees are just bad, we'll yell at the referees, but we'll do that in any game, right? If the refs are bad to Toronto, yeah, I'm vocal about it. If they're bad to the other team, I'm also on them. But when that happened, it was so long, and as much as I believed it would happen, part of me was starting to doubt it, right? You were seeing them get in that same gap again. Toronto was kind of struggling. And when that happened, it just all came out. And I don't know why I said that, but it just happened. There was Dee was telling me one of her favorite memories, I think, was from the last year playoffs, and that this past one, something happened and I yelled out, "Holy monkey gorilla." Right? Made no sense whatsoever, but they've been killing themselves all year. Every time something happens, they'll yell as I walk by, "Holy monkey gorilla." And I'm like, when I'm trying not to swear or, say something really bad,
you have to get creative.
You suppress and then stuff just comes out. So yeah,
I remember
you never know.
I put an almost swear count in your chat, and you're like, "Wait a minute, did somebody put that in?"
There have been close. There have been close a few times where it's been like on the tip of the tongue. And it's like, nope, pull it back, reel it back in. But it's hard, and that's the fun thing with hockey, and that's why I can't wait for this to get here fast enough.
Hey, don't be taking away my beach days. I only get so many.
That's true. You can go to the beach as long as you want. Just you'll have to bundle up some of the days.
I don't have to bundle up to go to the beach.
Oh, you have.
That's
It
true.
was in the 80s today, y'all. There's a cool front. We got 80-degree weather today, and we were so thankful.
Our southern people.
Well, okay, we'll enjoy what we have in August, but when we get to October, um, the thing we love is the passion, and we all cheer for. Well, I think we all cheer for the same team, but whoever's watching, we all cheer. You all have your own teams, your favorite teams, and we love to cheer for our teams. And the passion that everybody has for their teams is so good, and when we can bring it together in the chat, whether we're celebrating together or I'm celebrating with you because your team was victorious and my team wasn't. It's so much fun, and it's so great to be able to share that joy. I don't know
And
about
everybody's pretty respectful about it in the chat too. For the
absolutely.
Yep.
And I don't know about you guys. I was never one. I didn't like to go to the bar with my friends to sit and watch a game and have a drink because I don't want to just sit there in silence and hear a crowd, the bar atmosphere. If I'm going to watch a game, I want to watch the game. I want to hear the play-by-play. I want to be able to see hear what's going on. So that's what I like, what we're bringing. It's like an atmosphere where we can all get together. You can hear a little bit of the sounds of the game. We have us calling the game, and we get to experience the game together, but have some fun and hang out and talk like you would if you were going out with the buddies for a drink. So that's what I love about what we do.
We've had some fun live on locations. Somebody was live on the street when the Leafs won. You've been live from the game.
Yes, yeah, Jonathan Chong, our very own Jonathan Chong, live on the street after the Leafs won in the celebrations, was kind enough to come on camera with us and walk around downtown Toronto. That was pretty cool because I'll tell you, I wouldn't be caught dead down there walking around.
That was really great of him to do that.
That was
awesome. I think he was planning to go anyway, and then he just was able to get the camera on. It was fabulous. And Sam's been live from the game.
Yeah, and we went live from the Florida Panthers game down in Florida. So yeah, such cool things we've been able to do. So this
I was live from a Garth Brooks concert.
That's true. That's true.
I was live from somewhere. Where was it? Can't remember.
So it's pretty amazing that 2 years ago from 100 subscribers to now at 8,300 subscribers, it's unbelievable. And being able to share this together, and there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there that do everything. Listen, there's so much out there. But the fact that you guys all choose to spend your time with myself and my family and doing these hockey games, whether it's hockey or Legos or cooking, whatever it is, just hanging out and having a good time, it means so much to me because this really is a good community where it doesn't matter what we're doing. Yeah, a lot of us love hockey, and that's what brought us together, but it's all these other things that have come in, and the ability to just hang out and share together is awesome. Gator, what's going on?
Hey, how can you bring me to you? You bribed me. You paid me to be here.
Yeah, that's true. One thing, I don't know if I should be saying this or not because I didn't ask if it was okay to share, but I'm going to do it anyway. So whatever. Somebody named Gator is celebrating a birthday recently. So very, very, very happy birthday, Gator.
Sam, we're all on screen. You know what we got to do?
We'll get a copyright.
Oh, really? We get a copyright for that?
I don't know. Happy birthday, Gator. Again, if you didn't want me to say anything, oops.
Oops, we did it again. Too bad, Gator. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gator.
Happy birthday.
There is, if you want to join us, if you want to get in the shenanigans, what time is it? We got a few minutes left. Come on in. There's a link at the top of your chat, wherever your chat is, if it's over there, over here. There's a pinned link. Click on it. Come on in. Say hello. We are hanging out.
So Sam, inquiring minds want to know how long did it take you to catch up on your sleep after the 49 overtimes on the one game?
Overtime.
Overtime. There it is. You
Always
said the
Hayden.
magic word.
Always Hayden.
Hayden woke up when you said overtime.
So,
Always Hayden.
you know, those were some tough days.
I bet they were.
You know, I love that game so much. I remember sitting here as it's going into overtime 1 and then it ends and it's overtime 2 and I'm like, okay, it's it's midnight. Okay, it's 12:30. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Okay, it's 1:30. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I gotta get up at 6 a.m. the next day. I'm like, there's no way. Like, if this goes into another overtime, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And I'm sitting here going, all right, I haven't pulled an all-nighter in a really long time. I wonder how many hours of sleep I actually need to properly function. Like, I'm doing all these calculations in my head to figure out. And I got to the point where I'm like, if it goes to the end of this last overtime, it's going to be about 2 a.m. It's then going to be about 17 minutes in intermission. So now it's 2:17 a.m. They're going to start. We're probably not going to see a goal in the first minute. So realistically, it's going to be 2:30, 2:45, or 2:45, assuming it ended in that period. And then it's like, okay, the game ends. I need a few minutes to shut everything down, close it off. So now I'm right at like 3 a.m. And I'm like, but I'll probably be completely wired. So I need a good half hour to just like calm down and get. So now I'm like, hey, I'm at 3:30. Maybe I fall asleep about 3:45. I'm like, I don't think I can do it with 2 hours of sleep. So in my mind, I'm like, if this goes on, I'm just going to have to say, like, I'm sorry, we're done. And as this is all happening in my head, the play is happening, and all of a sudden they scored and it's over. And I was like, thank
God.
You know what made that night even better? Is I actually stayed up for the whole game.
That's
You
right.
were up
You
all
did.
night. I wanted to hang with you, but I had patience to see the next day. I'm like, peeps, I can't.
And I'm
can't.
usually the first one in bed.
And we
I
were
can't.
streaming, like we were streaming almost every day. So
Yes.
it was like,
That was crazy.
if this knocks me out, like if I just can't function, that means I'm not going to be able to stream and it's just going to get bad. And we had the same thing during the Olympics. Like when we were streaming the Olympic games, we had those, they started at 11 p.m. And luckily with international, the games are a bit faster, but the same thing, they still kind of ended 1:30, 2 a.m.
But the
And
time
those
change
was like
crazy.
every night.
Well, it was all Hayden's fault anyway. He kept chanting overtime.
It's so true. And we had a stretch there, remember, where every game started going overtime.
Thanks, Gator.
It was the best time.
That was fun.
Oh, Gator, that's so
That was
funny.
fun.
It's like we just had so much fun. And the worst part is, I mean, when I'm calling these games, I'm getting excited, right? And sometimes I forget to have my little beverage. And so we'll be going, and all of a sudden we'll get to the intermission. And I was like, man, I'm so thirsty. And I'm like, I want to drink. I'm like, oh my God, I got 15 minutes to fill, 17 minutes to fill. I'll take a drink at the start of the next period. And then something happens and it just, the game goes. And all of a sudden it's like, why am I so parched? I got to hydrate. It's funny.
Oh, pillow mod. Yes, I can mod from my pillow. It's excellent.
You can mod under the blankets and grease too.
I did.
Yes,
Not
that's
to
right.
wake anybody
She
up.
also mods from the beach too.
That was so funny. Dallas
3 in the
coming
morning from Greece.
from Greece.
So
Unbelievable.
technology, my people. But yeah, the time change was nuts. The time change.
It's these moments. It's these moments that you don't get anywhere else. And I think it's something very unique that we bring, where we get to invite the community to take part in what we do. It's not just Sam calling hockey games, it's Dallas and Triton taking over the intermissions, you guys in the chat. I mean, I actually will forget at times I'm calling a hockey game because I'm watching the chat and the conversation is so amazing. And we've had
very cool people in the chat.
we've had some absolutely terrible hockey games where we just stop calling the games and instead we start talking about music or movies or all this stuff. It's crazy. Prep, what's going on? Welcome in.
Hey,
Well,
Brad.
Sam, my favorite was Sam. I was pillow modding, and Sam, I think it was during the long overtime game, and Sam's like, "Hey, I could really use a break. Dallas, could you come and take over for me?" And I'm in my pajamas and pillow modding. I'm like, "Oh, geez." It took me a minute to get back into my office. I'm like,
That was so
"I'm
funny.
coming."
Yeah.
I
Prep,
could have
so-
taken over.
Sorry to hear there, Prep. I hope sending my best to the family and everyone.
All the
Lewis,
prep.
welcome in. Good to see you.
Did you have good snacks at the celebration, Prep? There's always good snacks at those celebrations.
Yeah. And again, if anybody wants to join us, there's a link at the top of the chat. You can come in and be a part. We got room for a few more spots. So if
come and
you
join
want
us.
to come in and join us, we're reminiscing over the last 2 years of our fond memories from the Samwell B12 experiences. We're kind of celebrating our 2-year anniversary.
Very good, Prep.
It's, we talk about Greece. I mean, that was just wild. I mean, that one you caught me off guard, and I know I didn't expect to hear from you at all during that time because the time zones were so different. I kept seeing you popping up in the chat, and I was like, wow, like that was just amazing.
I think she did it on purpose because she knows I was going to badmouth her during this intermission segment.
Well, no, I have to give you two so much credit because the creativity that you both bring to that second intermission show and the banter and the back and forth were just absolutely incredible, so funny. And don't take my word for it. Here's somebody who likes to bust my chops all the time, so maybe he'll bust your chops.
We have matching paper bags.
Road Warrior, what's going on? Welcome to the party.
What's going on, everybody?
So hope you're doing well. So again, I assume you're at work. So nobody tell Road Warrior's boss that he's here. But if Road Warrior's boss is in the chat, you got to excuse him because I said so.
He gets a note. We're writing him a note.
So Road Warrior, you've been along for the ride for the last little while. Do you have a favorite memory over the last little while?
I think it's the first time, like, I was a Dallas or a San Jose game. I can't remember. And I just kept putting the team logo in the chat. And then Sam was like, okay, are you really a fan of that team? Or are you just busting chops? Because this is not.
It took me a while because you would do that every game we play. You were dropping in the other team logos. But I don't remember. I remember that game, but for whatever reason, it was a lot more than your usual. And I'm like, is he really a fan? I'm like, and yeah, you've got me a few times. You have definitely kept me on my toes. And that's part of the fun of this is I don't really know who everybody cheers for. I don't know who I'm starting to now over time learning that, Gator likes the Florida Panthers, right, Gator? No, it's Tampa Bay. Gators, Tampa Bay. I know, like Surf Bum John and New Jersey Devils, and starting to learn, who the non-Leaf fans cheer for. But all of a sudden, someone like Road Warrior starts dropping all these other teams' logos. I'm like, I have no idea.
I must have confused the first year when I was rooting for every team but the Leafs.
Yeah, well, I kind of knew that you had no idea about hockey. So
you don't even get the hockey game on your TV channel.
That's true. Coach, what's going on?
Circus, do you get any of the hockey games on your channels where you are?
Yeah, we have DirecTV, so some of the sports channels will show the games.
Nice.
There you go. Tank, welcome in. Coach, welcome in. Again, if you guys want to jump in with us, we got room, I think, for a couple more. If you want to come in and share your favorite moments over the past couple of years or talk about anything current in hockey right now.
Oh yeah, Gator reminded us I came in live from Disney. I was sitting beside Pirates of the Caribbean or no, the Tiki Birds. I was sitting near the Tiki Birds, and I found a quiet bench. The only quiet spot in Magic Kingdom.
You know, I really should create a map and just like put dots of where people have joined us from, because, you know, yes, you've popped in from the most foreign locations by far. Excuse me, but we've had some incredible viewers who have joined us from all over the world, and I kind of wish that I kept a list of where people said they're watching from. There is an analytic that says, you know, over the last so many days, here are the different countries or the cities where people have watched from, and it's pretty mind blowing. The amount of countries that we've hit. But I'm just more the people that come into the chat. It's like we've been in Italy, Japan, like everywhere under the sun. Oh, Beverly coming in with the $5 super chat. Beverly, thank you so very, very much. Appreciate that. The super sticker.
Thank you, Wilma.
The number one Fox. Love that little super sticker.
How would you have enough space to put the pins where Dallas is from? You only have a spot for the Earth. What about all the planets she's from? She is an alien after all.
I'll tell you, all of the Dallas Stars games where you're going, so Dallas shoots the puck. I'm like, and the thing is, I'm trying to listen. I'm modding another chat, and I'm trying to listen if Sam's calling out for Dallas. So every time he says, I'm like, what? Those things are ready to kill me.
There it is, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach. Almost
Dallas is skating around the ice with her little device, just like, wait, don't put that in the chat. No. Yeah,
it really was funny. And what was funny, because that was right around the time too, like we were really teasing a lot each other, Dallas, Triton, and I, at intermissions and stuff. And so I would say something, and then it would be like, oh shoot, I hope she doesn't think that's a play on what we were just talking about, and going back around, and it really was confusing. And even when I would try, instead of saying Dallas, I'd try and say the Stars have this, the Stars have that. It just didn't have the same flow to it, so it ended up being like.
I was very thankful when you were trying to do that. I noticed that you were trying to do that. I was so thankful that you were trying to do that. I was never so glad that when the Stars were out, because I'm like, thank goodness. Oh my goodness, I love you, but too much.
I remember the episode when he was purposely coming out calling you short.
Was that me or was that you?
Actually, it was both of us, but you surprised me by doing it too.
It was.
You're both dead.
I did jump in on a couple there. There was just too open the opportunities.
Yes, and Sam is banned from chicken parm forever.
According to my doctor, I should be.
There's a flyer at every scatterbush with Sam's picture. Do not sell chicken parm to this man.
I'm going to have to get one of those standing desks. In this season, I'll be calling the games while running.
Hey, that's your own fault. You took off the dance redeems. We were making you exercise. You took them off.
Let me tell you, holy moly.
The treadmill. You do the streets while you're walking on the treadmill.
It's funny, you know, you bring up those dance redeems that we did when we were a much smaller channel. We had a lot, like do the robot. We did the Running Man, the Carlton. You know, we had all these things in, and you guys were using them so much, and it was so much fun. But I was like huffing and puffing. I was sweat. Like the stream would be over, and I would be like, "Holy cow!" Like I'd be soaked. It was not pretty. Those were a real workout, and that's why I kind of said, okay, we're gonna do like save a big dance. Oh, if we hit 200 likes by the end, then we'll do whatever, because that was a lot more manageable. But when you guys kept doing the dances, the Macarena and all that, having to stand up and move around, and that was before I had the green screen, so I had a lot more room. When we got the green screen, I had like no room, so I was like moving the chair, moving furniture, doing the dance, then come back in. And it was like, they don't want to hear me sit here and huff and puff and blow the house down as I'm trying to call the the Leaf game. But yeah,
Oh,
those were
Curtis Joseph. It's a running joke with Sam and I because Sam's favorite is chicken parm. So if Sam misbehaves, then he's not allowed to have chicken parm as punishment.
yeah.
Do you
And
say
I
like
had
the
what
soup
you-
guy from
I don't know
Seinfeld, where he's
what
like, "No parm for you"?
No soup for you.
And I don't know what Sam's talking about. Somebody redeeming all those dances. I'm innocent.
Sure.
Lies.
you
Lies.
I have a little light
He's
down
telling
here,
me.
a little light beside me to help light up some of the stuff because our top lights aren't that bright. And it gets really hot out. Like even if I'm just sitting here calling a game, it gets very, very warm. So in the winter when we were calling the games, I have our thermostat is Wi-Fi. So I'd sit here and I'd be turning the heat down because I'd be so hot from the lights and from dancing and all this stuff. And so Dee would usually text me from upstairs. Usually she texts me to be quiet because I'm too loud, but she would text me. She's like, "Did you just turn the heat down again?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm dying." She'd
To the
turn it
peanut
back.
gallery, he's like, be quiet and turn the heat back up.
Yeah.
Yes, Gator, we have real chicken in Canada.
Let's see. Now that I have to, I
But they're
can't
always
make me dance
frozen.
with the person to do impressions. My impressions weren't very good. I think we'll have to bring the dances back for this year because they were certainly fun. It was definitely entertaining. We'll have to find a new twist to them because the redeems, doing the dances with the redeems were good, but we have so many redeems now with a lot of the other graphics and stuff. So I think we'll go back to what we were doing earlier where we said is, we should map it out and we'll say, hey, at 50 likes, this is what it is. At 80 likes, this is what it is. At 100 likes, this is what it is. So that way it's a little bit,
Yeah, that's doable. I'll call you out when you miss them again.
I know you.
We
I
know
know
you will. That's your job.
Triton for Christmas is going to send me one of those shock collars. So as we're doing the game, if I miss something, he's just going to start buzzing me. So I'll be calling the game. Matthews goes, oh, no, that's okay. Martyr, okay, it's that dance time.
We'll get Triton connected for him to be remotely connected to the red light, and then he'll just flash the red light every time and blind you.
That it really is bright. Like I had no idea.
It is very bright. But remember, when I gave it to you, it was brand new batteries. So
that's true.
It's going to work well.
Gator says he wants in on the remote. That would be a whole different stream. Could you imagine if the users had the ability to zap them?
It'd be a shocking experience.
That would be a whole different.
We do not want that. We do not want that.
Goodness
Yes, we do.
Wait, if we actually did that, every time we hit it, Sam would start barking. Bark, bark.
The bark collar does not seem to work for my little dog Belle. Not as well as I would like. She's still barking.
I would never put a bark collar on Chandler. Nope. I don't care how much he barks. I won't put a collar like that on him.
No.
Too much barking.
Now, Sam is a different story.
Yeah, of course. Well, with hockey coming up around the corner, I think
Thank
we
God.
can all see how much shenanigans we are in for. This group, this community that has played such a big part in what we do, and I always say, we're just getting started, even though we're 2 years in. We're still just getting started. We're still a very early channel, but we're lucky enough to have such incredible people that help make this what it is. So whether it's somebody like Road Warrior with the memberships and Circus and helping moderate and keeping the chat friendly and just being here and doing all that, Dallas and Triton again in the chat as well and coming in second intermission. There's so many people that contribute to what we do to make this show what it is. And everybody in the chat, like from Lucas and Gator and Beverly and Lewis and Prep and Curtis.
Whole group.
Wow, I see. There's nothing nice to say about me, for instance. I get it.
Well, Hayden, the thing with Hayden, Hayden would be up on that level. The problem is he just wants overtime too much. So you knock him down.
There is one you forgot to say because she hasn't been in quite a while, but she
Wow,
was
I see how it is.
really important in the beginning of your channel.
Sorry,
Your
I missed
original member,
Was
your number one
Coaster
original
Mom.
member.
was Coaster Mom. Yes, absolutely. Coaster Mom was definitely one of the OGs. I think when we had like 6 subscribers, she was in there, and it's so amazing. And Hayden, I joke, you are definitely a big part of what we do here, and we
Hush,
appreciate it
Gator.
so much. But yeah,
Hated who?
No,
Coach,
I quit. I quit this channel.
But yeah, so many people from the beginning. Coach too. I don't know if Coach is still in here. Coach was one of the originals when we streamed from Weber's, the burger joint on the side of the highway here north of Toronto.
Oh, I remember that day when you were picking up your boy from camp.
Yeah, Coach kind of came in and was one of a couple people, and we've met such amazing people doing this. So I thank you all for contributing in the way you do. Everybody is such an incredible individual that you bring to this team in what we call the Samwell B12 experience. And I'm glad we changed the channel name to be the experience, because it really is more than just one person. And I love that you guys have come in and joined us here today, because it really does kind of represent what we are and who we are as a channel. And as we go forward into this hockey year, as we continue and as we hit, we start looking at that 10K number that is going to come to us. It's this group. And I mean, I know there's some people who aren't here tonight, but it's this group that has been so instrumental in doing it. And I know it's something I don't take for granted, and I appreciate. And yes, I should thank Dee, because she lets me do it.
When I drove by Weaver Burgers this summer, Sam, I was thinking of you. And you know how the driveway sneaks up on you when you're on the highway, so you'll miss, if you're not careful, you can miss it. Well, I was driving by and the line was so long. I was like, I just can't.
And Coach, it was a long time ago. It was. And that's what I like. Like Coach isn't, he's not in Toronto. And as we go live from some of these places, it's places he has seen before and he's been to. And I love when Coach came in the chat. He's like, I've been there. I remember this place. So I love being able to bring some of those spots.
Yeah, but Coach was probably Coach was probably there in like 1792.
Oh boy.
And on that note,
I have no words.
Just leave that one alone.
Can I say one more of my favorite things?
Yeah, of course.
I love it when I make you work off guard and send you a PayPal.
Oh my gosh! Wait, you didn't just do it?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
With you get me, man. It's so funny because you're right, and I should say, and shame on me. If you guys aren't subscribed to Triton, you got to check out his channel, because he supports us with so many things, and it's not just the giveaways he does. He sponsors some amazing giveaways, usually at the worst times, but I know he does that on purpose. We won't talk, like we haven't talked, and I'll be like, one day I got to film kind of what the stream setup looks like so you guys can see, again, maybe one of those Discord behind the scenes things. But I'll be like, have a million things going on and following and doing all this and calling a game. And he's like, host, by the way, check your PayPal. I'd like to do an Amazon giveaway. And I'm like, oh, not right now. And I'm like, okay,
background to do a giveaway. For those who don't know, there's a lot of work.
So you'll be thanking him.
Oh, I thank him every day. I appreciate AAU Triton so much for what he does. You hear that, Kevin? I appreciate Triton so much.
For those who know, you know.
So
Right, Circus?
oh, shame on me. That's terrible. But I do. Triton is such a huge supporter and a huge part of what we do. And I mean, I know a lot of you guys, you see what we do here. But what you don't know is a lot of the time behind the scenes, Triton and Dallas are giving me feedback. They're helping, I create some of these videos or thumbnails, and I'll get opinions and we'll have discussions, and they really help keep things going, not just on here, but on TikTok, on Discord. Like, there's so much energy put into what we do, and to have people that I can rely on and trust to say, hey, here are the keys to the kingdom, and they're responsible enough, and they handle things well. So we appreciate it very much. So the giveaways is kind of sugar on top, right? Giving back to our community, paying it forward to some other people who are
No, I just like to torture you with it.
Well, and spoiler, I have 24 jars of jam in the freezer that I made this summer. So there might be a jam giveaway when hockey season starts.
Ooh, I can win again.
Nice.
No, you're excluded. He's already gotten 2 jars of jam. So,
yeah, I think Triton, if you want to win, you got to drive up here and claim it.
Yes. You have to come and get it in person. I'm not mailing you another jar of jam.
Oh, it's funny, but I know. Listen, and I'm so bad at this. Every time I say, "Hey, we're gonna just keep it to an hour," I end up going on and talking for forever. You know what, Coach? It's funny you say that. We're going back there very soon. I was going to stream from Halliburton when we were there earlier this summer, but it rained most of the days. We did go to an art festival they had out in the field, and I took a ton of video, and I was actually going to put together a little vlog, and I just haven't. So yeah, we'll look to do something back out in Halley again. That will be fun. Usually it's the fam kind of ditches me and I have to beg for a ride home because they hate when I stream there, because the city is like a block long. But it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So yeah, we'll definitely do something from Halley again, assuming
there's cool places to eat and great places to get ice cream in Halliburton.
There is Coolix. Coolix is the best. Oh, so good. So good.
It's
Shout out
you
to
typed
Coolix.
that, Dallas, by the way, because I just exported a new 360 video.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, Gator says you have to parental advisory for Triton because he does topless streams. Yes, because Triton's too sexy for his shirt.
That song's in my head.
I know.
That was so funny. So when I didn't realize you had put that video up, and so it was actually our good friend from the Florida Park Explorers, Dave the Bear Shark, texted me, and he's like, "Did you see the thumbnail on Triton's latest video?" And I thought it was Dallas's jam video, and so I said, "Oh, with Dallas, you should see some of the outtakes he didn't use." And so I was kind of laughing, and don't worry, I didn't send it to him. And I was laughing, and then I went on YouTube and I saw you had just posted the 360 video, and I'm like, "Oh, that's probably the one he's talking about."
I live in Florida now. It's hot. It's like 100 degrees. I had to check the mail.
There's no takes of my jam video. They're edited, and I send them to Triton for hosting.
It was so funny. Oh, it was so funny.
My best one was the actual Chandler cam.
That was very cool. It looked like a video game. It was like Call of Duty. I was expecting someone to like pop out from around the corner or something.
It was very good.
And he didn't even mind the camera on him.
Oh, good. So you have to do it again. Longer walks.
Yeah.
I live off the street with the very first Timmy's. Beverly, wow.
Oh,
That is cool. History.
Very cool.
Listen, in all seriousness, I know, listen, here we are. I was only going to keep the show to an hour, and here we are. It's not an hour and 40 minutes in. In all seriousness, I know we're going to continue the celebration through, on Friday's Blue Jay game stream, the Cincinnati Reds. It's going to be fun. But this was a great opportunity to get everybody together. Come on, talk, have some fun, have some laughs. If you're watching this on the replay and you're like, what on earth is this all about? You got to come check us out during hockey season, because some of these stories, if they made you laugh, if you had a good time watching along, listening, you will definitely have a good time with this community. We're going to have a ton of fun for this upcoming year. It's starting real soon. Was it October 10th and 11th are the first couple of games? I think the Leafs are the 11th. Chicago-Pittsburgh is on the 10th, Crosby versus Bedard to kick off the NHL season. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Again, thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out, for everything you guys do. And yes, Hayden, you too.
I'd like to thank you for giving us such a great community to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. When we first started this 2 years ago, when we did our video for 100 subscribers, if you would have told me, hey, and in a year and a half from now or 2 years from now, you're going to have these great friends, have this awesome Discord community, and, be talking with these people, weekly, some of you daily, I would have said you're absolutely crazy. So you're very welcome. And thank you guys for, just being what you are. I'm gonna get going, so we're gonna end this before it gets too much.
Don't get Sam started.
So again, thank you all. This has been an absolute blast. We appreciate it. We will see you again very soon next week. Hopefully, we'll have some big hockey news to report. Maybe we'll have some real Matthews updates. Maybe not.
Quit taking my chain. I'm dying.
And a big thanks to everybody in the chat, because it's the entire chat that makes this channel.
Yes.
Absolutely. So from all of us, from Triton, Dallas, Road Warrior, Circus, and even Hayden, I am Sam. We thank you so much. Good night. Take care. Go hockey, go.
Night,
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Go hockey, go.
I hope to have one
coming this fall. The quest for the Holy Grail starts over again. It's time to see legends find their way through. Get back at it. To find the greats, get back on the right path to win their first cup. The Core Four, to bring the passion back to a city that hasn't had it for some time. Or watch the Great Eight chase the Great One. Who will be the next young gun to chase Calder glory? And don't miss out on these amazing moments.
Panthers 2 to Verhaeghe, shoot that! Verhaeghe scores! Oh my God! Florida has done the unthinkable. Ice. Tavares cycling. Send it for you. Swim, Billy, swim! Holy mackerel! Swim! That was my play. Billy, swim! Billy, swim! Oh, yeah. 19 years up your pie hole. There it goes.
Watching Sam Welby experience.
You're watching the Sam Welby 12 experience. Subscribe today.